Question for you. Do you make biased decisions at work? Of course you do. We all do. I'm going to grab my coffee and we're getting into this. Welcome to the channel Leadership with Mike. On this channel, I help managers become leaders, and I do that with no nonsense sense, if that makes sense. So what am I talking about? What I'm talking about is we all have some unconscious biases, and they affect decisions that we make, and they affect people that we work with. Now, when you start, especially in like a corporate environment, we are all inclusive. We value diversity, and the words are true. The problem is that people like you, like me, are making decisions, and we might not even realize that we're not being fair, or we're giving, favoritism to certain people, certain sexes, certain cultures. And these you have to keep an eye on. You have to know about in order to correct. Oddly enough, it's not so easy to spot. So what are your unconscious biases? In its most simple form, I believe they're judgments that you're making on a situation, you're making on a person, you're making about a culture. And these are all kind of based on your upbringing, your culture, your personal experiences. And it's something that could be as simple as men make better leaders. Women are usually catty. Brown guys, lazy AF. Asians, you got an iPhone problem? Call one of them. These are not things that you're actually going to say. These are probably not things that you're actually going to think. I mean, I'm hoping not, because if so, we've got a different conversation we got to kind of steer into. But I'm assuming, like me, your intentions are to be fair. Your intentions are to be good. So you would not want to express these ideas. You wouldn't want to even think these ideas. But the difficulty is that it happens way in your head. So it's unconscious. It's not something you're thinking until you think about it. Now, where do you see these biases playing out in work? Well, you're going to see them in the interview process. If there's somebody that's different than you, you think something different. If it's somebody let's say I'm doing an interview. If it's a white guy and he likes fishing, he's already a fantastic fella. Give him the job. That might be my unconscious bias. Now, I have to step up now being conscious and say, but why do I like this guy? What am I missing? And you want to be fair, because if it's somebody who is not like you, you don't want to put unfair, unreal ideas upon somebody. That is not something that you should do. It is not fair, and you wouldn't want it done to you. So you want to make sure that if you're dealing with somebody not like you, and oddly enough, there's going to be a lot of people not like you, make sure you're stepping out and you're thinking, be fair. Be, doing the right thing is always the right thing. Keep that in mind, especially in the interview process. These biases will come out, or could come out, in coaching and development. Look at in your company. Is there a group of people that tend to get more favoritism? They get more courses. They get more good stuff. And is there a group of people that get less, or they get the crappy jobs because they're not going to say anything? These are biases these could be biases that are coming out for no reason. I'm not saying that the people getting promotions, the people that are getting the coaching aren't earning it. What I'm saying is you just need to check yourself to make sure, or check your management team to make sure there's no unconscious biases that are pushing this forward. It's kind of like there's a book called The Tipping Point, Malcolm Gladwell, where he was talking about athletes, and a lot of hockey players in particular. The best hockey players were born between January and March. Why would that have any effect? The effect happens is that when people are young, right? When you're 5 years old, and you're playing against a 4-year-old who, because they were born in November, so they're a little bit younger, then you seem to have more coordination, more power, more agility. But it's only because you've been living like 20% longer. Then, well, the coach sees you and you know what, Mr. January, you should go to this league. You need this coaching. Oh, this specialist will take care of you because you have what it takes. All it is that the poor kids that were born in November, December, they're just not as old. They don't have that extra 20% of life that they've lived to develop this. So this is kind of, to tie it back into our business, are some people getting more coaching because they unconsciously fit into your box, your bubble that you see being better, and they've kind of had that all through life? I'm not saying stop it. I'm saying just big picture. See why. Try to figure that out. What about in reviews? When you're giving somebody a review, are you being fair in the sense that there are set standards? Or are you just making it up based on what you perceive that person to be like? Again, these aren't easy questions that you're just going to stop this video and be like, yep, okay, I did all this. No, this is right. You have to sit. This is something that you develop over time. This is something that I'm still developing. I've worked at the airport for 17 years. I've worked with different sexes. I've worked with different cultures. The international airport is just that. There's a lot of international things that I don't understand. And I really, I'm a small town, farm, country kid, redneck, whatever you want to call it. So to say that there was some culture shock is an understatement. That doesn't mean that I'm better. That doesn't mean that I'm worse. It's different. People had opinions of me. I had opinions of them. So it takes years to kind of really get into your subconscious and understand why you're making a choice. But it takes seconds for you to make the choice that you're going to figure it out, if that makes any sense. Daily interactions. How are you interacting with your staff? Are you treating people differently? Listen, realistically, we all talk to people different. We show ourselves in different lights. I talk to my mother different than I talk to my best friend. I talk to my best friend different than I talk to my wife. There's nothing wrong with that. As long as I am being true to them, I'm not holding them back or I'm not unfairly putting a burden on them. So what are you going to do about this? How do you approach it? Like I said, this is something that you can decide now that you're going to work on it, but it's going to take time to figure out. Make sure you brush your teeth. Look yourself in the mirror. Are you doing what you need to do to make it an unbiased environment? Question yourself. When you're making decisions, are you making these decisions on judgments that have not been proven? And ask yourself, your management team, are they making selections? Are they making choices based on unconscious biases? Or are they making these decisions because they've put thought into it and this person deserves the promotion? This person has earned this sales run, whatever it might be. So there's a lot of internal reflecting that you'll need to do. It's not difficult. It just takes time and it takes an honest thought. That said, I'm gonna grab my coffee. We're gonna move to the next video. Ciao.